Hi, I'm Rob Cram, and today we're taking a look at Spearhead Games' Stories, The Path of Destinies. Basically, it's coming to the PS4 and PC, and this is a preview version. So a bit about the game. Stories is an action RPG set in a vibrant fairytale universe, filled with floating islands, majestic airships, and colourful magic. Reynardo, an ex-pirate and unintentional hero, suddenly becomes the last line of defence against the mad emperor and his countless ravens. Can he come up with a plan that won't blow up in his face for a change? Well, we're going to find out. So I'm not going to talk anymore. I'm just going to let the game do the talking for itself as we jump in to Stories, The Path of Destinies. Okay, I'm Rob Cram. Thanks for watching.
All that had been years ago. How many? The war was a blur, and now 3 Raven scout ships were chasing him. "Where are you running, rebel?" cawed the Raven captain over the loud hailer. Reynardo could see them cranking up their catapults. "Just going out for milk?" Reynardo yelled back. "Where can you run?" laughed the Raven horribly. Far behind him, another city was burning. The dark cloud above its island was thousands of Imperial ships. The fleet was doing a thorough job. "Take us to the rebel base, and we'll spare your life!" it cawed. The entire jury-rigged rebel fleet was only a few islands to the east. Beyond that were only the pillars of heaven, a sea of endless blood-colored tornadoes. The rebellion was out of time, unless Reynardo could bring a game-changer. Maybe he could. Reynardo had found out where he could find the pieces of the Sky Ripper, the legendary weapon that had exiled the lost gods. Surely a legendary weapon could win the final battle. On the other hand, his old friend Lupino had sent Reynardo a desperate message saying he had a brilliant scheme to save the rebellion. If Reynardo could only rescue him. Reynardo dived the Farfarer towards the abyss. As he felt the heat of the jet stream, the Raven ships peeled off, not stable enough to follow him down there. Now it was time to choose. Lupino or the Sky Ripper? Ah, Lupino. Apparently, the Mad Rabbit had sold a Pegasus that he did not exactly own. Lupino always wiggled out of trouble, given time. But he was out of time. The Ravens had figured out that Lupino was a rebel spy. If the fleet reached him first, they'd string him up for that. Never mind the winged horse. Lupino had apparently managed to confuse the judge by arguing that he hadn't actually stolen a winged horse. He'd only sold it. But wait, where was the prison? The village was empty. Had everybody fled the Ravens? Who leaves these chests everywhere? Wondered Reynardo. I should send him a thank you note. His trusty old sword was always a little better when he sharpened it. was odd. Reynardo had been here, at this exact place, at this exact time. But this time, there were so many more ravens. No cows lowed, no chickens clucked. It was eerie. The villagers had fled from the fleet, taking everything they could. They must have heard what the ravens did to civilians. Reynardo hoped they'd found safety.
Can't we just agree to disagree? Said Reynardo. No? Come over here.
Reynardo felt new powers, ready to blossom within him, or something. Oh, sweet! A gem. All he needed now was a workbench, and he could slot it into his gauntlet.
Reynardo felt like he was ready to learn new things. Thank goodness he didn't have to go to school for that.
Eat missed his old skills. He welcomed them back like he was at a reunion. You couldn't go sticking jewels in your gauntlet just anywhere. What if you dropped one and broke it? Luckily, there was a bench right here. If they didn't want their things broken, they really ought to make them stronger. The rock felt hot in his hand. He could feel its secret power.
Long live the Emperor! Caught the ravens.
You rushed. Oh.
Don't be shy. Reynardo felt a chill run down his back. Or possibly a flea.
Smell any better dead, Reynardo thought.
Dirty and bloody, Reynardo finally reached Lupino. The rabbit was practicing his shuffle. Reynardo recognized the cards. It was Lupino's favorite deck. Oh, I thought you were in danger. I am. The ravens are coming. Oh, the prison thing. Right, yeah, see, this guard owed me 53 ducats, so we made a deal. They're very reasonable people, actually, for weasels. Now, I got a brilliant plan to kidnap Zenobia. We capture Zenobia, we find out what she knows, and that's the whole war right there. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Capture the Emperor's greatest general, who also happened to be a deadly sorcerer and, oh, his only daughter. That would be worth it. On the other hand, he could still get to the core of the Sky Ripper, even if he couldn't get the whole thing. It must have great power. Zenobia wasn't just the Emperor's daughter, of course. She'd been Reynardo's best friend in Swordfu school, And you're still mad for her, the rabbit reminded him. They'd been close. She'd told him things no one else knew, but she'd never told him who she really was. She knows all the Emperor's plans, chuckled the master spy. She won't give them up easily. She'll tell the interrogators, all right, said Lupino. Taking her would change the game, all right. Every child knew about the Sky Ripper. The Transcendent Emperor had buried its pieces. What could have brought them to light? This Emperor, Isengrim III, had once been kind, but he'd gone mad. And now he was conducting secret, obscene rituals to bring back the lost gods. Had he, somehow, summoned the long-lost components of the legendary weapon out of the deep places of the earth? It was more than Reynardo could fathom. But if he could find a legendary weapon, he would use it. As he set foot on the island, Reynardo could not help but feel a tinge of guilt. He'd left Lupino behind. He hoped the Mad Rabbit had somehow escaped the ravens. He hoped they hadn't eaten him. If they had, he hoped they hadn't eaten him alive. Why had he chosen the Sky Ripper? Reynardo never made plans that required constant vigilance. He was a hero. He didn't think too much. He just went with his gut and hoped it all worked out. The Sky Ripper was a long shot. He'd have to devote himself to it. No side journeys, no rescuing old friends. That was against his nature. Could he stick with it? Sparkly, thought Reynardo. Can't we just agree to disagree? Said Reynardo. No? Come over here. Your eyes. Didn't your mother tell you it's rude to stare? Snapped Reynardo, a little smug. Firewalls only let you through if they think you're hot enough. Huh? That was new. Most people still use doorknobs. Ooh, what's there? Reynardo hated warlocks, the way they stayed back and lobbed pain and death from a distance. Cowards. Really dangerous, effective cowards. ready to become faster, stronger, bolder. If only he could figure out which. Reynardo wondered if any other legendary artifacts were showing up. For example, the glass armor, light as silk but stronger than steel. Reynardo was in favor of anything that resulted in him not being stabbed. Reynardo felt like he was ready to learn new things. Thank goodness he didn't have to go to school for that. He'd missed his old skills. He welcomed them back like he was at a reunion. Anyone ever tell you have a lovely eye? No? Puzzle. Reynardo loved puzzles, except when he couldn't figure them out. On the other hand, if there was a puzzle, it was probably meant to keep people away from something good. See? That wasn't so hard. This chest was filled with old concert t-shirts. And something useful. There it was. Sky Ripper's armature. The stuff that dreams are made of. Engineers' dreams, anyway. The device was intricate. No one alive had the skill to make a thing like it. How was it part of a weapon at all? He'd have to ask a scientist. But first, he'd get the second piece. Sky Ripper had a heart. A core that had come to rest on the next island. Well, there was another island he could reach. Zenobia had just invaded it with her father's Raven battalions. She must be encamped there still. But fighting Zenobia now, that made no sense at all. He'd already sacrificed one friend to get this armature, was it? He didn't need to hurry to face her. She would find him. It was a no-brainer. He'd sacrificed his old friend Lupino to get the armature. And the armature was useless by itself, only a series of coils and wheels. War demanded sacrifices, and he would make more before the end. He would have to choose the greatest good no matter how much it cost him. Zenobia. Well, he would see her sooner or later, across a battlefield or a sword's point before all this was over. He was sure of that. The power was in the core. Obviously, he had to get the core.